Welcome to Woodsfield, Ohio. It is playoff football time. Tonight's Ohio Division 5 Region 19 regional quarterfinal game between the Johnstown Monroe Johnnies and the Monroe Central Seminoles. It is the first weekend in November. It means playoff football in Ohio. Welcome to the broadcast, Mike Anthony and Terry Edwards. Coach, they are pumped here in Woodsfield, and why not? This team made it all the way to the state semifinals last year, and they're home. It's the first round of the playoffs, and they're excited.
Once again, another nice night for football here. The atmosphere out here is wonderful. I think we've got to send out congrats to both Coach Carter and Coach Acosta for doing so well during the regular season to get their teams to this point. I think it's going to be a great night for football.
The Seminoles coming here unbeaten through the regular season, and they've shut out 5 of their opponents. Meantime, Johnstown Monroe was beaten last week by 20 points. Coach Edwards, what's that do to a team?
I think that Johnstown Monroe's got to weather the first quarter. They've got to overcome maybe the David and Goliath mentality here. I'm not sure we can use that analogy, but certainly the contrasts are very different. You got a first-year guy who's done really well, Coach Carter, going against very tradition-rich, legendary coach in Jace Acosta, and I think the first quarter is going to be crucial for the Johnstown team.
It'll be huge, and if you don't know much about Johnstown Monroe, a little homework this week, and we see that they have a 1,900-yard rusher and a quarterback who's done fairly well.
I'll tell you, both teams have to be doing something right. You know, there's a lot of teams sitting back at this juncture of the year watching, just like we are, and those ones that have done really well during the regular season get to this point in the season. So I'm sure Johnstown's got some good things that they're ready to show tonight.
Of course, we'll see a lot of Christopher Wilson, Michael Joyce, and a well-balanced Monroe Central attack. We are ready for the opening kickoff. Johnstown Monroe and Monroe Central. The starting lineups in the opening kickoff coming up from Woodsfield next on WTRF 7.
You up now?
Yep. Yeah, man.
Respect congratulates the Monroe Central Seminoles football team. As you enter the playoffs, your ability to play hard and your dedication to the game has paid off. We've watched you score brilliantly and play hard throughout the season. You deserve the celebration of the school spirit with enthusiasm that excites the whole community. Respect is proud to be part of the community that has given us all so much to celebrate. Good luck to you, the Monroe Central Seminoles, from Respect.
It's the 100th anniversary sale at Bauer Turner Furniture. Stylish sofas just $4.99. Curios, gun cabinets, recliners, bedroom and sleep specials. Buy now for Christmas.
And welcome back to Woodsfield. Bring on the Seminoles. Here come the Monroe Central Seminoles as we get ready for this Division 5 playoff game. And they are pumped. Mike Anthony and Terry Edwards here at Monroe Memorial Park. The Noles in their all-black unis. The gold helmets. The Johnnies of Johnstown Monroe. All white in their red helmets. Not familiar with Johnstown Monroe? Well, they're a little town just east of Columbus. They stayed in Cambridge last night and got a night's rest there and came over. And, you know, Coach Edwards, we talked to their coach before the game, and seemed a little bit nervous, right?
Absolutely. He's got to be a little bit anxious. You know, the emotions got to be running high, and they got to be running mixed. He's real happy to be here. Hopefully that, you know, they can overcome those jitters and settle in and play football early in the ball game.
Johnstown Monroe won the toss and have elected to receive the football. So you'll see that vaunted Noles defense to start the game. only allowing 3 points a game through 10 games, and that is pretty outstanding.
I think if you talk to a lot of football fans and tell them that, it'd be very hard for them to believe it, but we're going to get a good look at him today.
And there is the veteran, Dr. J. Circosta, looking for win number 234 tonight.
Very classy coach, class individual. It's no wonder, his program is, right up there in the upper echelon year in and year out. Does a fantastic job with whatever talent he has.
So Michael Joris, the fine senior quarterback, has the ball on the tee, and we're just about ready for this regional quarterfinal in Division 5, Region 19. Tom Weckesser is the referee tonight from Smithville, Ohio. Tony Furr is back deep to receive number 1 for Johnstown Monroe. Mick Riley, number 42, is back. He's the back that nearly rushed for 2,000 yards this season for the Johnnies. Playoff football is underway. And it is a boomer, and it carries Riley into the end zone. So let's look at Johnstown Monroe's offense. Mick Riley is a 5'11", 180-pound senior who has rushed it about 25 times per game. Chris Craig, the quarterback, with Furr also in the backfield. Jay Montgomery was a guard. They moved back into the fullback spot. Derek Holter and Armando Encana, the wide receiver, they like to throw to.
We got to stop and play here, Mike. I don't know if there was an offsides call or...
I liked how aggressive the Johnnies were.
You saw that, right?
Chase Kaiser, Steve Dillinger, John Neal, Scheffler, and Grice up front when the Johnnies do go on offense. But the front 5 of the Johnnies just came plowing towards the Monroe kickoff team.
Especially the kicker, Mike. They went right after Joris.
Right after Joris, the quarterback. And Coach Circosta, I think, is okay with the explanation.
Hey, like we talked about in pre-game, Mike, it's real important for the Johnstown team to overcome some of the necessary distractions that come along with postseason play. The sooner they settle in and get over the atmosphere and not stand back in awe, I think the better off they're going to be.
So here comes Joris again. We'll try it again. They come right after him, and he takes a shot. Another boomer into the end zone.
He kicked that and even further.
Nice crowd on hand here in Woodsfield, as usual, for playoff football. The Noles made it all the way to the state semifinals last year. Would love to get back to that point again, and you know what? If there was a team that could win it, it is this team, ranked number 1, Monroe Central.
We're going to get a look at that vaunted defense right off the bat here, Michael.
They like to run a lot of unbalanced stuff, and they hand it off right away, and I think Mick Riley was the ball carrier, stacked up by the Noles. John Michael Spielman leading the charge. Let's look at Monroe Central's defense. It's a great one. The ends, John Michael Spielman and Danny Miller, TJ Stevens and Nate Schauber, some great tackles, and Tyler Shoemaker, the nose tackle in that 5 defense. Of course, the leading tackler on the team, Christopher Wilson, wearing number 46. They run right, and on 2nd down and 9, not much doing on that play.
Both offensive formations, Mike, coming out, play 1 and 2 are basically run sets. The first time it was unbalanced, and that's their cup of tea. That time it was 2 tight ends, wing right, power eye there, and they look like they're going to settle in and try to run the ball.
There's Sam Miller along with Wilson at linebacker, Adam Conrad, Gabe Gordon Jr., Aaron Brown, and Josh Ishii. A lot of underclassmen in that secondary. They can fly. 3rd down, 7 for the Johnnies. Passing the football is Craig. He will be hit and sacked by a host of Seminoles. A big play early in this game by the defense. It'll force a Johnnies punt.
Johnstown tried to run a complimentary play there, Mike, off of their power run game, play action. That's all well and good, but you've got to have time to set up, get your receivers down into the secondary, and the pressure just proved to be too great by the Seminoles. First punt.
For the Johnnies in punt formation. The Noles will get great field position, barring a boomer. Low snap. punt is off with some pressure. This is a return ball. Adam Conrad from midfield. He has room. Conrad inside the 30 to the 25. Steps through a couple tacklers, and Adam Conrad puts the Noles in great
Ball's loose,
position
Mike.
to
I
start
think
this
the ball
drive.
came loose. The ball came loose at the last minute. Let's see who got it.
Wow, couldn't tell that it came out. They're trying to unpile him, so indeed it is a fumble.
Johnny sure thinks they have it.
Wow. Conrad getting up off the turf. I thought that was good. I started to look away, thought he was down. Fumble recovered by the Johnnies.
Once again, it happens over and over again. Second and third effort sometimes. Running back or return specialist tries to get that extra yards, loses sight of squeezing the football. That's a big pick-me-up for the Johnnies because they had great field position.
And Craig brings him up. Run the option. It's loose. And it's fumbled. It's still loose, and Monroe Central's going to have this one. Wow, some crazy plays early in this one. The Noles have even better field position than when Conrad fumbled.
Monroe Central's defensive end really made the quarterback make a quick decision. He had to pitch it, I think, a little bit before he wanted to. Tailback really wasn't ready for the pitch coming that hard.
Whoa.
Dan Miller, I think, put the pressure on the quarterback, causing an errant pitch. Huge turnover early.
So Monroe Central comes out on offense, and Joris brings the play in. Gabe Gordon, Christopher Wilson, Conrad, Ishii, and Miller. Up front, a lot of veterans. Sean Adey, the only player that was replaced from last year's team. Tyler Shoemaker, Spielman at center, TJ Stevens, and Nate Schaber.
Michael, in any game, especially a postseason playoff game, really the only acceptable turnover a coach will tell you is a punt. Johnny's got to stay away from putting the ball on the floor.
Ball on the 4-yard line for Monroe. They put TJ Stevens in the backfield, and Wilson runs it up in there. Touchdown, Monroe Central on their first offensive play of the game.
Great second effort. He got hit right at the goal line, kept his feet chopping, forward lean, ended up in the end zone for the first score of the game.
So Wilson takes it in from 4 yards out. And Monroe Central strikes first.
Really just
Second effort, and
just a power play off tackle, Mike. They double down inside. Johnstown looks like they're prepared for the little muddle huddle there. Once again, that's good coaching, good scouting, good preparation.
they put Stevens in the backfield that time and ran right behind the big fella. And he's on for the point after. He hammers it through over the capacity crowd standing in the end zones here in Woodsfield. 7-0 Noles, and they are pumped here in Woodsfield. First play of the game on the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard. Monroe Central 7 and the Johnstown Monroe Johnnies nothing.
Let's see how the Johnnies respond here. I'll tell you, the first quarter we talked about over and over again. You know, you have to get over the atmosphere and play your ball game. I mean, you've done some great things to get here. Keep that in mind. You know, a good drive here and getting the first down would certainly help their confidence level.
There's TJ Stevens, Mr. Do-It-All, lined up in the backfield that time. Normally the right guard, they put him in the backfield. Nate Schaber enjoying a little drink with Coach Shoemaker on the sidelines.
Monroe Central's defense is standing out already. My good defenses are going to create takeaways, and then a good ball team is going to get points after that takeaway.
Obviously, you don't get to see many Ohio teams play or many Ohio playoff games because, of course, you've been with Wheeling Central through the playoffs the last umpteen years, and I've been raving about this defense, and I think you're starting to see a little bit of that early here and how much good field position it sets up their offense in. And Joris kicks it off. Another rocket into the end zone.
You know, those are big pick-me-ups for the team. I'm telling you what, that just keeps the emotional high going.
And you were pretty impressed with Joris' size. I told you he was huge. He's the biggest player on
I
offense.
heard some great things about him, Mike, and I really never got to see him up close and personal and walking on the field. What a specimen. Great-looking kid. I tell you what, he's got some fine athletic skills, too.
6'2", about 215. Here's Craig and the Johnnies offense. They run the dive play, and it's stuffed by Monroe Central. may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't know if this is planned or not, Mike, by Coach Carter, but what they've done is really come out in their unbalanced set, maybe one time, two times out of their possessions. So I don't know if he's trying to, catch Coach Sarkosany's staff off guard or not, but it seems this defense could stop just about any formation.
They come out in the eye. Craig gonna pass it this time. Completes it out there to the right side. And look at Stevens get out there. That Monroe Central defensive line can run, and those linebackers, a short gain for the Johnnies.
That's a high percentage pass set up for the Johnnies quarterback there. Get him a little bit of confidence. Catch it on the perimeter. Hopefully you can shake a defender one-on-one out there and get some plus yardage is what they did.
First ever playoff appearance for Johnstown Monroe. They average 26 points a game, but they're up against it tonight. Craig in trouble, bounces out of trouble. Almost tackled by his own man. Look at Craig's second and third effort.
Great effort.
He may have the first. No, I think he needed to get to the 30. He's going to be short of the first down.
Short, Mike. Yeah, going to be a little short. I tell you what, Monroe Central's line is extremely quick and aggressive. They're bull rushing, getting a lot of pressure on the pocket. Johnstown may have to come up with a little swing screen or draw, something just to keep them honest.
Johnstown Monroe, you can see JHS is their symbol. No M in there, even though Johnstown Monroe is the name of the high school. JHS.
Remember the first time they punted, Mike, it was kind of a slow snap. Keep that in mind.
Good snap this time, but it's bobbled, and the Knolls are on him. Stevens is there, and so is Miller. And the Knolls are in great field position again.
That's the second time they've had a little trouble on the punt. The first time it was a little slow snap, and even though it wasn't a design block by Monroe Central, they really almost blocked at that time. It was a mishandled snap. Turnovers are killers.
Right in his hands, Coach.
Yeah.
Oh, Stevens.
Once again, it might be a case
Danny
of the
Miller
nerves
buried
and
him.
Jitters there.
Wow. So Johnstown Monroe, and I told you this before the game, that the Knolls will just kill you with their field position. Here is Joris with the eyes set. Little hand off to Wilson with a lot of running room. Christopher Wilson will see you in the end zone.
They probably
Two
run
plays on offense, 2 touchdowns from 17 yards out, and the Knolls strike quickly.
They probably run this play as well as anybody in high school football, Mike. It's counter tray left where they're going to pull the backside guard and tackle, kick out and lead up through. Perfectly executed.
Look at the running room. And what a job on the left side of the offensive line. Shoemaker and 80. Another point after by Stevens coming up after the big turnover by the Johnnies. Adam Conrad is the holder. Gets it down, and Stevens hammers it right through. Not pretty, but effective. 14-0 Monroe Central. And this place is going crazy.
Wilson showed great patience on that. Like coaches will call that counter tray. It's an old Washington Redskin play. It takes a little bit of patience and discipline to develop. But if you get the backside guard out, kicking out the contained man, and then you got the backside tackle leading Wilson up through, he went in untouched.
Even Crickett's excited here in the press box. It's 14-0 Monroe Central on the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard. The Knolls are off to a great start, and this is not the way that Mike Carter wanted to start his first playoff game.
Now, this is probably, the worst scenario that could happen. It's been a nightmare the first part of this quarter here. They still have time to settle in.
Still 7 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Monroe Central's, obviously their offense is accounted for both touchdowns, but directly related to the defensive play.
There is Christopher Wilson. Toughest 155-pound running back you'll see in the Valley. And now Joris again. And he'll be met by Ancona as they come after him again. Another boomer into the end zone. And Jay Sarkosany is upset because they send Ancona after Joris. on the kickoffs. Just the
Those
pound.
two are getting to know each other pretty well.
And Michael just runs over and sits down on the bench, doesn't play defense, and just hands it off to Wilson twice so far. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns for Monroe Central.
I think it gives you an idea what a good athlete Joris is. Does a lot of things and does them well. Now they're in their unbalanced.
They run it right up the middle.
I think it's really important, Michael, for Johnstown to get a little bit of something here established, whether it be, you know, a power game, a trap game, an option game. They've got to have some confidence in something they can do when they do get possession of the ball.
A receiver split to the near side. Craig is going to throw. Now he's in trouble. And look at the Noles swarm to the football again. Tyler Shoemaker leading the charge from his nose tackle position. He got there first.
They ran a double slant there, Mike, and the good news was both receivers from Johnstown were open. The bad news is the quarterback, you know, he doesn't have time to even set up on a 3-step drop. Relentless. The front 4 are absolutely relentless. 1-yard penetration, hands up, swarming. It's going to be a long night if they don't control the front 4.
And now Craig in the shotgun. Steps up under pressure, delivers it. Nice play by Gordon to get the hand around there and knock it away from Ancona.
Just how you teach it, Mike. Put your backhand on the backside of the receiver. Don't hold him or interfere. Swat it with the front hand here. Textbook defensive play right there.
I've said it a number of times. It's my favorite junior in all the Ohio Valley. Watch that play. Bang.
Ancona was, you know, complaining a little bit about being held at pass interference.
And look at this again. They're punting on a short field. And it's an end-over-end punt that'll bounce at the 40. Ishii's going to pick it up. Ishii going to get a few more yards out of this. Down the sideline, Josh Ishii. Oh, and he's hit at the 21-yard line. What excitement. That's what Josh Ishii, the junior, brings to this Noles team.
I'll tell you, that's a headsy play there. Everybody gave up on it, except Josh. Picked it up and got a lot of yardage that Johnstown certainly wasn't expecting.
Jaser Costa barking at the officials again.
Here we go.
That side
right
of the
here.
field, you can see how muddy and tough it is to run, but Ishii makes a nice run. Tony Furr brought him down, and look at the field position again. Ball on the 21-yard line. The left side of this field has just been invisible this first quarter. Noles looking to run their 3rd play from scrimmage. It's already 14-0. Hand it to the fullback, Gordon, straight ahead. And he's met by some feisty interior linemen.
Keeping Johnstown honest. They run a little quick trap inside there. Johnstown reacted real well, shut down the trap.
Well, they all can't go for touchdowns.
Johnstown has to make a stand here.
Under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2nd down, 7. They put Browning in motion. Little cross up, but Wilson cutting it back up the middle. Good defensive swarm by Johnstown Monroe. At least 9 players on that pile.
Timing was a little bit off, a little confusion in the backfield, but they still got positive yards. I think that's just another version of the counter tray there where they're going to kick out and lead up through.
So it's 3rd down, about 4 now for the Noles. They send Adam Conrad to the left side. Brownie in the slot left. In the eye, Gordon Wilson. Gonna throw it. Joris got a great arm. Fires it out to Conrad a little too low, and it's incomplete.
Run a little quick out there. Had plenty of time, just got away from him a little bit. That's a tough pass for anybody to throw, Mike.
Jaser Costa a little feisty.
Tempers seem to be running high out there for both teams here. The emotion and the adrenaline sure show.
They're going to call a personal foul on the Noles. T.J. Stevens, I think, was the culprit because he's the only one walking behind the bench.
Here, yeah, those are killers right there. You've got to keep your cool and keep your composure. Sometimes hard to do in a game of this magnitude.
Well, Stevens, big, strong senior, the wild man.
Coach Sircosta, you know, can appreciate the aggressiveness, but there's a fine line. You have to stay self-disciplined and not hurt your ball club. Got him spread here, Mike.
Third down, about 20. Joris looking across the middle. Plenty of time. It's the fade route, and it's knocked down by the defensive back, Tony Furr.
Very good coverage by Johnstown. They put some pressure on Joris. It was going to be a down, out, and down. He just didn't have enough time, really, to let the play develop and throw it over top.
So fourth down now. No sense of punting.
We talked about this in pregame. When your defense is giving up an unimaginable 3 points per game as an offensive coordinator or, you know, someone calling the plays, you're apt to take more chances in situations like this, knowing you got a heck of a lot of confidence in your defense.
You've got Conrad in the slot right, trips to the right side, and Joris, a lot of white jerseys chasing him. Joris going to take the sack at the 45. Well, that helps if you're Johnstown Monroe. They got after him.
Just what the doctor ordered for Johnstown, actually. I mean, when you have that many people going out on pass routes and they send, I think, 4 or 5 out, the protection is limited. And if they bring more than you can block, you know, you better get rid of the ball early.
Maybe we can get a quick break in with a break in the action. 4:50 to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Monroe Central from Woodsfield. More first quarter action coming up next. Don't go away.
Penalty.
A good football team works together, helping each other to do their best. A good insurance company works together too, showing you the best coverage for you and your family. F.W. Shoemaker Insurance Agency represents several companies, so you benefit from personally designed coverage. Talk to one of their agents today about life insurance and annuities. As they continue to look out for your future, F.W. Shoemaker will celebrate 100 years of service in 2003. The Seminoles and F.W. Shoemaker Insurance, 2 winning traditions. It's the 100th anniversary sale at Bauer Turner Furniture. Stylish sofas just $4.99. Curios, gun cabinets, recliners, bedroom and sleep specials. Buy now for Christmas.
Great read by Josh Ishii. He gambled. He gambled. If the ball's just underthrown just a little bit on this down and out route here, he picks it off and probably got nothing in front of him but green.
Yeah. Chris Craig trying to throw near his bench. Knocked down. So it's second down 10 now from the 45-yard line.
Mike, I think if Johnstown plans on throwing the ball here in the during the course of the game, they've got to mix in a little bit of draw, a little bit of screen, some quick hitters. They've got to get a little bit of the pressure off the quarterback.
Crowd on its feet, little inside run, and it's a trap play. Ball carrier Dustin Shepard, T.J. Stevens in there defensively for Monroe.
I think if we get to see this again, 88, the inside linebacker Sam Miller just blew up the play. It was a counter. It was a counter. He come in the vacated area right there and really just caused a lot of confusion. 2-yard penetration.
Third down 10. Craig running the option right. This is Riley hitting the backfield. Ball's loose. Danny Miller was there defending on the play. Recovered by the Johnnies, but it's 4th and long.
Another punt situation. Monroe Central certainly prepared and ready for the dive option or the veer option to the perimeter. They've got a man on a dive back, man on a quarterback, and certainly, you know, they're stringing that pitch out also.
Almost looked like he fumbled that. He did not fumble it.
No,
they were just cheering the play.
Yeah.
Here's a lot of pressure by Miller, and look at this sand wedge. Bounces right back and won't even make the original line of scrimmage. What pressure by Dan Miller, and what a nightmare for Mike Carter's punt team.
The punt team sure has betrayed them. These aren't even designed rushes, designed blocks. They're just taking the punter's being a little bit too deliberate. The snap is probably not as crisp as you'd like it to have right here.
Watch this sand wedge back up.
This is conventional pressure right here.
Jeez. Wow. Monroe Central starting on the Johnnies side of the field again. Fourth straight time they've done that. Hand it off. Christopher Wilson running the football. Finally, the Johnnies stop him.
Little cutback dive there. You know, in Johnstown's defense here, you know, the first two scores, you know, were probably directly related to the ineptness of the special teams and the offensive turnover right there. You know, they've got to make a stand. They've got to dig in and keep them out of the end zone. They can't afford to get down another score here this early.
No gain for Wilson on first down, 2nd and 10. Full house look. Fake to the fullback, Wilson, second man through. Gets it inside the 40. And Joris looks at the sidelines after he kept it with a lot of running room, so maybe they'll let Michael put the ball in there and run it around the end.
That's a little belly series or a drive series where you ride the first back through and give it to the second back coming, and certainly the complementary play off of that would be the quarterback faking to both backs first and then keeping it himself.
Now Wilson out of the game now. Trips receivers to the left side. Gordon, the lone sidecar for Joris. And Joris with time. Now he's going to step up. He slips at the 40, and down he goes.
Looks like Coach Lacosta is going to pin him back in there once again and have confidence in his defense. Keep an eye on that formation there, Mike, later in the game, because Johnstown's matching up versus the trip set, man to man to man, and that's kind of tough to defend, especially if they're going to run some pick routes or some crossing routes out there. Later in the game, you might see somebody blow wide open down the sideline.
Joris, the punter. A little pressure, great kick by Joris.
Not only does he
It'll be
kick
fielded
well,
by Derek Holter. Oh, and he's drilled by Schauber, and look at the swarm of bees to the football.
Special teams for the Johnnies have got to start being a little more disciplined. You have to put your heels on the 10-yard line. We tell our players, if you take one step back, take your chances. It's going to hit and go in the end zone. You don't want to touch the ball inside the 10.
And that was a spiral. Looks like it would have bounced forward.
Great athlete.
Look at the spin. That's going to bounce and roll hard into the end zone.
Once again, it might be a case of inexperience, nerves.
And look at Schauber get down there, and look at the swarm of Knowles. My goodness. Impressed with this defense yet?
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I mean, Johnstown's gotten it out to, what, the 42-yard line one time.
And now they're trying to spread them out. They're on their own 5-yard line. Still a minute 32 to go in the first quarter. And they run Mick Riley, and that's their bread and butter, but against this Knowles defense,
That's the quick dive off the option. That's the first option. Give it to the dive back. Monroe Central's been able to, really to defend all three phases of the option, to dive back, the quarterback, and the pitch man.
There's Mendo and Kana, number 9 right there. He's their playmaker, 6'2", 185. Fake it. The quarterback, Craig, still has it. Look at Wilson. Get to the football, and look. 5 more black shirts around the football, and Wilson turned that in and wasn't letting him get by him.
Great example of team defense right there. If flow goes away from you and you're supposed to take care of the perimeter, stay at home. Defend your area of the football field, and that's got to be one of the assets of the Monroe Central defense. Team defense. Everybody, not individuals trying to do too much or more than they're supposed to do. The team defense concept of everybody staying at home, believing their key, reacting to their key, and then when they do see the ball, making some great pursuits.
Timeout taken by Johnstown Monroe with 23 seconds to play in the quarter. They are confused, and they've just burned a timeout.
I think it's pretty obvious that some of the inexperience and the nerves and the jitters are catching up with Johnstown here. But, once they get the first quarter under their belt, maybe they'll settle in.
Jaser Costa approaching the all-time wins mark. in the Ohio Valley. Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard shows it 14-0. The Monroe Central Seminoles in an avalanche so far.
It could be worse, Mike. Give credit to Johnstown the last couple series, when they've been given an opportunity to play normal defense, not backed up inside their own 10-yard line or whatever. They've done a pretty good job the last couple times. So, maybe they've dodged a bullet that could easily be 21-0, and that's very, very difficult to overcome in any game, let alone a postseason Jay McKinson team like Monroe Central.
So 3rd down and 8 on their own 7-yard line. Craig are going to pass. Little quick slant. It's incomplete. Pressure again coming up the middle from the Noles.
Once again, they're running a good 3-step drop, trying to get rid of the ball very quickly, hit the guy in, hit the receiver in the seam, and maybe he can get some yardage after the catch. But right here,
tipped by Schauber.
He's a little bit shook back there. If he's not getting hit, he's certainly getting pressured. And that puts the mindset that, I better get rid of it. And sometimes you throw it before you have to.
Yep. John Michael Spielman deflected that
pass. Here we go again with the punt game.
Out of their own end zone. And it's blocked!
I think it was a matter of time.
Look at this. Blocked, but look at this. And Gordon makes the tackle. The Noles block another one. This is getting ugly.
It was just a matter of time right there. And I'm not sure that Coach Acosta had the punt block on. He may very well have, being that close to the goal line. But everything is very, very slow.
Can you believe this is happening? Look at the rush. Oh, it's Schauber. Nate Schauber got it.
Mike, that was just a conventional return right there, and they're going to bank on field position, but the Johnstown team is not doing a very good job of protecting, and they're not really getting the ball off in timely fashion.
Monroe Central with the ball on the 14-yard line. Joris going to keep it with backside pressure. Got rid of it. Incomplete. Pressure coming from the backside. Dustin Shepard hit him, and the big senior quarterback got rid of it. Incomplete.
Once again, the last couple series, and of course on that play right there, Johnstown has played more than adequate defense right there. I don't know if they had anybody open or not, but it was play action on 1st down.
Nearly juggled and picked off. 6 seconds to play, 1st quarter. In the eye, Gordon, Wilson.
George may be checking off. He may be changing the play at the line.
He sees something in the defense. Did somebody put their hand down in the neutral zone? Yeah.
You know what might have happened, Mike, as Joris was checking off, the quarterback from Monroe Central, one of the linemen who went down already in a 3-point stood back up and then reset. You can't do that. We saw a lot of that last night in the Central game. People coming up and putting their hand down in the neutral zone before the ball was even snapped. What you call it, self-inflicted wounds, I think you come up with that.
Yeah. Well, that's about the only thing that's gone wrong in the 1st quarter for the Noles. My goodness, the special teams. Whew. Gordon, the fullback, taken down in the backfield. And that'll be the final play of the 1st quarter. It has been all Monroe Central, especially special teams, a huge key. And it's all happened in 1 quarter.
I think Johnstown's very relieved that this 1st quarter's over, number 1. Number 2, they're only down 14-0. When I say only, relatively speaking, it could be a lot worse.
Could very easily be 28-0. End of 1 from Woodsfield on the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard. Monroe Central has a commanding 14-0 lead. We're back with 2nd quarter stuff after this.
Since 1887, folks have trusted Woodsfield Savings Bank with their financial needs. So when you need someone to lead you with your financial decisions, come to the friendly folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank where customers count. Because of your busy schedule, we offer a drive-through and night deposit box, as well as convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. The folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank truly believe that making an investment in our kids brings the biggest return to our community.
Go Noles!
It's the 100th anniversary sale at Bauer Turner Furniture. Stylish sofas just $4.99. Curios, gun cabinets, recliners, bedroom and sleep specials. Buy now for Christmas.
Michael Joris passing to the end zone, but it's incomplete. As we start the second quarter here in Woodsfield,
Johnstown's defense really has settled in. Good coverage downfield.
Wanted Ishii. He's the team's leading receiver.
Another fourth down play for Monroe Central here.
Rather, Conrad has 19
They can get a first
catches.
down
Sorry
down
about that.
inside the 5 there, Mike. It's going to be a tall task here. See what Coach Sarcosta has in mind.
Watch Wilson. They love to throw to him out of the backfield,
Wow.
but he'll never even get a chance. Fumbled the snap. Joris upset with himself, and the Johnnies will take over. But
Mike,
again, buried in their own end.
how often have you seen this where a team comes out early in the game and gets 2 relatively easy scores and then subconsciously relaxes a little bit? There's the bobbled snap there. They didn't even have a chance to attempt to convert to 4th and 18.
And Mike will mad at himself.
Johnstown's defense is settled in and playing pretty sound football. Let's see what the offense can do right now.
Looked like somebody moved, but no flags. And Mick Riley, the tailback, is going nowhere. They're doing a nice job bottling him up.
Was that a direct snap?
I couldn't tell.
I don't know if that was a direct snap to the running back or if it was a quick handoff out of gun.
Look at those
Maybe we'll
helmets
get
with the
to
numbers
see it.
on it. They snapped it right to Riley.
Yeah.
Yep. Haven't seen helmets with numbers on that in a long time, since Alabama.
That's who it reminds
Alabama
you of.
still do that?
I think they do.
Yeah. Second down to 11. They direct snap it again to Mick Riley. Trying to cut it back up. He does. Nice run by Riley.
They're just getting the ball in Riley's hands right off the get-go. They're just bypassing the handoff, and hopefully, they have a lot of confidence that he can get some yardage against this defense here. But right now, it's a very, very tough situation. They're in 3rd and long every time they've had the ball, Mike, and those things are just very, very difficult to convert.
Here come the Noles, you know that. Now under center is Chris Craig. Play action with time down the middle of the field. And Gordon is there to pick it off.
Big takeaway.
Gabe Gordon, the athletic junior. What a diving grab. A shoestringer in front of the Johnny sidelines.
Plenty of time to set up and throw the ball, and just trying to force a little bit. You got double coverage there. Guy underneath, guy over top. Yeah, what a layout catch there. Another takeaway for the Seminoles defense.
My man Gordon playing well again tonight. And the Noles starting in Johnny's territory yet again. I think every drive has started.
They've had excellent field position.
Here's Wilson. Look at Christopher Wilson. And Joris took another hit in the backfield, a big one.
I'll tell you what, they're going to have to keep an eye on that. There's a fine line between playing from hut to whistle and then getting that unnecessary hit on, especially on a quarterback. I'm sure Coach Sarcosta's been watching that.
Coach Sarcosta The Italian is flaring up, and tonight he's swinging arms. He's getting fired up.
Well,
on
you
the
got to come
sideline.
to the defense of your players for sure.
Second down, 7. Now split backs for Joris. Here comes some quick toss to Ishii. Josh Ishii lost the football, but
Almost.
regained it, and it's a first down, Knowles. And Joris is complaining again that he took a shot.
We're going to see this called here sooner or later. I guarantee you the referees are going to get, or the officials are going to get sensitive to
Man,
that.
they are just coming after the quarterback. He pitched that ball, and then he took a shot about
Here it is.
3
Quick
seconds
pitch
after.
right. Nice little dip outside and cut back inside by Josh Ishii. Picked a good, got a good lead block out front.
I mean, it's hard to keep an eye on the quarterback once he gets rid of it because you have to see if there's holding on the play or something
I
else
think
like
that's
that.
what the man in the white hat's job is supposed to be, to monitor what happens
Yep.
back there
Whoop.
after the play.
Left side of the line jumped 80 and Sammy Miller.
Monroe tested the Johnstown defense outside that last play. They've been running inside traps and counter trays, and Johnstown certainly, risen to the occasion and stopped them the last couple times, so got to keep them honest on the perimeter also.
Penalty on the Knowles. Tom Weckesser, 9th year referee. There's Jaser Costa, former West Liberty star, talking to one of the officials. Rick Frida, the line judge. So first down and about 15 for the Knowles. Toss it, Wilson. Looking for room outside, cuts it back up nicely. Wilson to the 30-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage, gain of 5.
That's 2 plays in a row, Mike, that they're going to try to exploit or at least experiment on attacking the perimeter of the Johnstown defense. He had a wall of blockers out in front of him, showed great patience, did Christopher, cut back and got some positive yardage. That makes it a little bit more manageable here on second down.
Second down 10 now. Ishii, split wide right. Joris looking at him. Got him with a lot of room. Oh, he turned it back in. A lot of room outside, and now he's going back out there. How about the move by Ishii? Look at the little guy scoot.
That's
Wow.
2 plays in a row, Mike, where the play seemed to be over and everybody sort of relaxed. One on the punt return and one right there on the quick out. Cut back in. Really got a lot of yardage after the catch.
Oh, that's Barry Sanders-esque. Watch this
There it
plant. He had a ton of room on the outside and then boom, even slipped. It kid is exciting. What a year Ishii has had, and he's only a junior.
When you got a guy like Josh on the perimeter, he can turn a little quick out into a lot of yardage.
Here they go, Wilson cutting it back up the middle. Wilson, his 3rd touchdown of the first half, and the Knowles extend their lead.
We just got a little off-tackle play here left, Mike, and 2 lead backs. Very difficult to stop Monroe Central with that type of offense and that type of play in that area of the football field.
Wilson's 3rd touch of the first half, give him 25 for the year, 23 on the ground. It leads the Ohio Valley, and he just walks into the end zone, hands the ball to the official.
They're going to go for 2 here.
Toss it to Wilson. Christopher Wilson with plenty of room. 2-point conversion good. Unstoppable. And the Knowles are pouring it on early. 22-0.
Great blocking out in front of Christopher. Power sweep right. He has a very good knack of just waiting until the blocks materialize, cutting off the blocks. 2 hands on the football, getting in for the 3rd score of the night.
Wilson has all 22. Well, no, T.J. Stevens has a couple. 2. Wilson, the man. He's a heck of a wrestler, too, and nice kid to boot. Christopher Wilson.
That drive right there, Mike, looks like Monroe got a little bit of their intensity back. They
it
they
looked like
relaxed
that.
a little bit after the first 2 scores. It came relatively easy. That's a natural thing. I'm sure Coach Acosta put a little bit of fire into him and says, hey, let's get our intensity back, and it sure was obvious on that drive right there.
Here's the man, Christopher Wilson. He's had some huge games.
Monroe's got a lot of weapons, Mike. They've got the quarterback that can throw the ball, the inside running game.
I think that's the first thing I told you when we started show prepping this, wasn't it?
They're different. They're different. You know, sometimes you get a team into this area or to this part of the season, and they've really got here on being one-dimensional, and that dimension would be good. But Monroe Central, I mean, inside, outside, running the ball, throwing the ball, the special teams are outstanding.
and
that's why they're successful. and the defense ain't bad either.
Yeah, they have it all, I'm telling you. 22-0. And Joris not hit that time very hard.
Reverse here.
A little reverse. Running with the ball is Shepard, and he gets it across
Good
the 30.
field position. Here we go again. I tell you, Joris.
He buried Ancona.
I tell you, in one way or another, he's involved in some extracurricular activity. I think that's a credit to his toughness.
Does he remind you of another tough nut that wore number 7, named Justin Edwards? And Joris does not play D unless needed.
I'm sure that he could fill a spot on defense if they needed him.
It sounds like number 7 that lives under your roof. And the left side of the Johnny's line jumps. Another direct snap to Mick Riley that time. Johnstown Monroe have only played a couple. I've only really had a couple of good plays in this first half.
They're really just searching for something that they can hang their hat on, maybe to, keep continuing the second half. They've tried a variety of plays, a variety of formations, shotgun under the center, direct snap, quick passes, and it's just very, very frustrating as a coach when you don't have confidence in any one play in the playbook.
Trips to the near side. They snap it to Mick Riley. Direct snap. He's got room. And Ishii makes a big hit. It's loose. Recovered by the Knowles. Another opportunistic play. And 15 more tacked on from a late hit.
When it goes bad, it goes bad. They had a great play set up. Ishii came up and forced the issue right there and fought off a block. That's the difference right there. Josh Ishii, I think, wanted to get the ball carrier worse than the Johnstown receiver wanted the block.
He hit the ball on his helmet, and watch
right
this. Boom. One of the big linemen jumped on the pile, and the Knowles take over again. We could be headed for blowout city.
I look for Jay to go up top right now. You know, their Daubers got to be down a little bit on the defensive side of the ball, probably on their heels a little bit. And now's the time to go up there.
Well, let's see if Conrad's in there. He's their leading receiver. Yeah, the way Wilson runs.
Yeah, it's A, B, or C, whatever you'd like.
Well, this looks like a running formation. Kenny Robinson to the near side. He's got great hands. He's a lot bigger than the cornerback, guarding him man-to-man. Joris turns and hands it to Wilson. Second back.
That's the belly series given to the second back through. And if you remember early on, Joris come over and told Coach Acosta, hey, look at me on the perimeter here after the second fake. Nobody's respecting me. So I'm sure they have that in their arsenal also.
He will score on that play tonight. That's the Mike Anthony call.
Prediction.
Second down 9 now. There it is. Kept it that time, and Joris still on his feet. Struggled forward for a few.
I think he was a little...
You can see some big chunks in the field there, Terry, starting to pop up.
It's a little bit soft outside the hashes. Other than that, it's in good condition. You know, I think that Joris wanted to run the ball a little bit too quickly. For that play to work,
you gotta wait.
You've got to sell the inside fake, and it was basically a flash fake instead of a belly ride up through the middle there. And
because the ends and the outside backer did not collapse down
they
quick
didn't
enough.
bite
Didn't
on
respect it. Did not bite. Yep. 6:43 to play in the half. It's 22-0 Knowles knocking on the door for more. Look at this formation. Conrad, Ishii, and Robinson left side. Pressure picked up by Wilson. It's a pass into the end zone. Oh, and it's juggled and intercepted by Shepard. Boy, was Ishii open if that ball was just thrown over the defender's head. It was there for a touchdown, underthrown.
We talked about the crossing routes, and you're going to see a down, out, and down here by the Seminole receiver. He had him open. He just tried to be too fine.
Yep.
Josh was waiting in the end zone, had a 2-yard cushion on the defender there, and it was just a little bit underthrown.
That's thrown towards the back pylon. We're talking 29-0, folks. But they're buried in their own end again, inside their own 10. Now that defense can pin its ears back and try to force another turnover. Up the middle it goes.
A lot of extracurricular activity going on out there. The officials are going to have to take a look at this and get it under control early. You know what happens if they don't? That was a good play by Johnstown right there. They moved the line of scrimmage a little bit, got some positive yardage on first down.
They better get it out of there. They better not go 3 and out and punt now. I formation. Handed off to Riley. Up the middle, Mick Riley running hard near the 20. Marked at the 18-yard line.
Little X action in the backfield. Almost like a draw, delayed handoff up the middle. Nice play to get a first down. First downs are certainly not coming very easily for the Johnstown team. I'm sure they're glad that they got that one there.
What do you think they have, about 2?
That was my next question to you. I was wondering if they had one going there. That's probably their second first down.
Little inside hand up. Nope, it's a fake. The quarterback still has it running left, and he slips in the backfield. He'll lose a couple yards. He slipped down to the turf, did Chris Craig, the senior quarterback.
Another example of just solid, disciplined team defense right there. They run Johnstown ran play action, a fake counter, and a lot of times people are going to bite inside, but the people that are supposed to take care of the perimeter out there to the right did a good job of staying at home and defending the play.
And Brownie was pursuing from the backside. Second down, 12. Craig still has it. Play action across the middle, caught by Anaconda at the 27-yard line.
Brought the tight end underneath there. Good setup, good route. Pretty good defense, really. The quarterback really threw a nice pass in there.
That's Mando and Kana, folks. 6'2", senior.
Let's see what play that Coach West has the most confidence in here. This is pretty crucial first down here.
Handed off to Mick Riley, breaking a couple of tackles, arm tackles, and finally being taken down. John Michael Spielman on the bottom of the pile, number 50.
Well, I'll tell you, Johnstown's offense is firing off the ball a little bit, putting the body on somebody, moving the defenders.
Knoll cheerleaders are pretty pumped up about this one on a cold night. Temperature in the 30s. It's November football, and it's all about Monroe Central. Here's Riley running a lead across the 35.
It seems like a little thing right now, Mike, but they got to feel pretty good, Johnstown, getting some positive yardage. You know, that they were sitting at 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, basically the entire first half. They're getting some positive yardage right now. It's got to give them a little bit of confidence.
Here's the Forbes scoreboard, 22-0. Handed off to Mick Riley. That play never got started. Stopped in the backfield, and Christopher Wilson may have been the first man there. Shoemaker on the bottom of the pile as usual from his nose guard position.
Coach Sherman and the defense right there certainly ready for their unbalanced set. They come out and run their, basic unbalanced left set right there that's probably been very successful for them during the course of the year. And Monroe Central doesn't seem to have any difficulty shutting it down.
3rd down and 7. Here comes Miller with the blitz. Picked up nicely. Craig with time. Now he's forced to run. And Gabe Gordon misses the tackle. It's a first down for Chris Craig and the Johnnies. Oh, my man Gordo was there ready to make another big play, but you can't make them all.
Great coverage in the defensive secondary there. Was almost a coverage sack.
But Gordon took a pretty sharp angle, and I wasn't sure he could bring him down from that angle. Good athletic play by Craig. Watch Gordo right here. Ooh.
Just a little bit out of control. Didn't have his feet underneath him. Didn't get the big part of his body or his arms wrapped around him.
And hey, look, the Johnnies are at midfield. Mick Riley just puts his head down and runs into the pile. 2:32 on a turning clock here in Woodsfield.
Riley's a tough running back. He really is, and he's had a lot of carries for a lot of yards.
I bet you that's at least 15 carries for him, 12 or 13.
And I'm sure he's not gone against the caliber of defense, not taking anything away from the teams that they've played, but you don't run across defenses like this very often during the course of the year, and every yard's tough.
And you talk about sticking with your game plan. That's their strength. Here's a quick, see, passing is not their strength, and they're going to get T.J. Stevens for a late hit. All the times Joris has been hit all night with nothing. And
Coach Circosta is not very happy. I think that's going to be the second penalty on Stevens. Especially in a situation where the ball's incomplete, you're going to have him 3rd and 10. Let's see what he does.
They are sticking with their game plan, like I was saying, Terry, and in not getting out of their best stuff, which is running the football. And they're now down 22-0.
And this offensive possession, for one reason or another, I would give a lot of credit to the Johnstown offensive line, settling in, catching up to the speed of the game and the aggressive nature of Monroe's defense, but they're moving the ball. They've got to be very pleased with this field position and this drive. Let's see if they can reward themselves and capitalize.
2 minutes to play in the half. Pressure.
Wow.
Both the Miller brothers are there, and Craig, you better get down, my man. Swarmed under.
The quarterback didn't have a chance, even in the shotgun formation right there, where he's already got his, post-snap drop ready to set up. Whoa, Monroe Central was in there very quickly. And see, it's kind of tough, it's frustrating if you can get receivers open down the field. That's one good thing for the offense, but not having time to set up and deliver the football has been their problem.
Reverse. They're going to run the reverse. And that is Tony Furr. Oh, look at the defensive play by Sam Miller.
Johnstown is trying anything and everything to deceive the
we
defense.
Have seen everything.
And we have, and I'll tell you, Monroe's been up to the challenge. I mean,
look at them stay home, Lee. Look at all that.
Absolutely. I tell you, they've done a wonderful job and I can't stress enough the importance of being a defensive team. You always have standout individuals, but for Monroe Central to put up the numbers that they have got to have very well-disciplined individuals playing the position the way they're supposed to play it.
Inside the huddle with Coach Circosta. Here's Coach Sherman right there to the left. Really doesn't get much limelight, of course, with
I'm sure
the legend Circosta, but there's Sherman on the left talking to Wilson, and this defense is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and just like we talked about having a bunch of individuals come together and perform the defense, that would be known as team defense. The staff is the same way. Each coach works with a different area of the football program, but on Friday and Saturday nights they got to come together and be one solid staff with one common goal, and I think that's what makes Monroe Central staff exceptional.
Minute 14 to play. Here's Craig trying to get his footing, and he will be taken down inside the 35. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 10.
Having watched Monroe for a first half here, Mike, it's no secret, I don't think, why their defense is so good. And I know we keep mentioning their defense, but if you get the vantage point that we have right here in instant replay, their reaction to the football, whether it's immediate or reading and recovering and then reacting, right there they dropped back in pass defense, the quarterback pulled it down and ran, and they reacted right away to shut down a big opening.
4th down and 11. Craig in the shotgun. Look at the rush. Here comes Wilson. He misses. Brown and Schauber pursuing. Here's a heave into the end zone. Picked off by Ishii at the 10. Look out for Ishii, or that's Conrad. Conrad has the football.
Did he lose it?
No.
I think he held on to it.
Adam Conrad with the ball. And it's another interception and a takeaway by the Noles. The senior whose hamstring is about 90%, and he hurt it last year. That's how long it's taken him
That
to
was
come back
fourth
from
down,
that.
right, Mike?
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's a pretty good punt.
the quarterback had to get rid of it. You know, threw it up for grabs, and Ishii went up and won the battle with a free ball right there. Now let's see what Coach Acosta's intentions are here down the stretch with, well, not very much time
Craig
left.
is just running for his life on a lot of these plays.
You know, he made the first guy miss, and it's always difficult going to your left and trying to throw level 3 or trying to throw deep, you know, going to your left. He may have a guy open, but it's hard to set your feet and throw.
20
TJ
seconds
goes
to play.
for a bomb here.
Got a one-on-one down here to the left side. Run it up the middle with Gordon. Ishii is matched up with Furr on the left side. And I think they're just going to let it run out. You like this team so much, you'd like to see him run another play. But that'll do it for the first half of action. Dominating is a word to describe the Monroe Central Seminoles after one half of play in this regional quarterfinal game in Division 5, Region 19. The top-ranked Noles are showing why. On the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard, it's 22-0 Noles at intermission. Halftime festivities coming up.
Not buying till I checked on Ford.
You can tell your friends that you're not buying until you've checked Stone Ford. And here's why.
Professional salespeople, service after the sale, a state-of-the-art collision repair center.
A huge selection of new cars and trucks.
High trade-ins, quality pre-owned vehicles priced to fit your budget. That's why we say,
I'm not buying till I checked on Ford.
Stone Ford Lincoln Mercury, Morristown, Ohio. Take exit 208 off I-70, a Blue Oval certified dealer.
At Respects Food Mart, we're proud of all we do. From our humble beginnings in 1926, we've grown to 6 stores throughout the Ohio Valley. We strive to combine that small-town friendliness with the buying power of the chain store to give you, our friends and customers, the best of both worlds. And we take pride in our community, its people, and their accomplishments. We're happy to support all of our county schools. We're proud of all we do at Respects. And Seminoles, we're proud of you. It's the 100th anniversary sale at Bauer Turner Furniture. Stylish sofas just $4.99. Curios, gun cabinets, recliners, bedroom and sleep specials. Buy now for Christmas. McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun. It's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, our cheerleaders, and our band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's of Woodsfield, where we love to make you smile.
Hey, we're back in Woodsfield, about ready to begin the second half of action here in this Division 5 playoff game. Jacer Acosta's Monroe Central Seminoles have the lead 22-0. Welcome back. It's Mike Anthony and Terry Edwards, the former Wheeling Central head coach. And Coach, it's been pretty dominant here at Monroe Memorial Park in Woodsfield, all Noles. And what would you tell your team at halftime if you're Johnstown Monroe?
You know, Mike, the score is a little deceiving. I think there's a couple positive things that Coach West can talk to his team about. I'm sure he did at halftime. Was, you know, they finally got something generated on offense and got a couple first downs there towards the end of the half. And their defense really, once they were put in a situation where they could defend, you know, the entire field instead of having their back against the goal line like the first quarter, you know, they settled in and played solid, sound defense. You know, when Monroe Central gets out to that couple touchdown lead early, a lot of times, considering the caliber of their defense and the way they play, you know, a lot of times that's going to hold up.
Here's Coach Greg Shoemaker of the legendary Shoemaker family here in Woodsfield.
Like
the special teams have played well.
Like we talked about before, I mean, you know, they have a fine staff here. Each one of them, I'm sure, has different responsibilities, whether it be special teams, offense, defense, running backs, defensive backs, and they work extremely hard within those groups to bring them together to really, you know, on Friday and Saturday night formulate a great team concept.
And Shoe's my man because he married a Wheeling girl.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He can't be all bad.
So the Noles will get the ball to start the second half.
Johnstown's going to have to build a little bit on you know, the semi-success anyways they had on defense, you know, towards the last part of the
Unofficially, the Noles defense held Johnstown Monroe to 31 total yards. And if you're thinking that may be incorrect, they had a big, long 60-yard drive, but they've had a lot of negative sacks and minus yards, so it's probably pretty close. Ishii, near side, Josh Ishii, skating to the 43.
Josh is very versatile. You know, he can carry it on a sweep right or sweep left. They can hit him with a quick pass, run a reverse, runs back, kicks and punts. Very versatile, very explosive. Always dangerous when he touches the football.
And he's only a junior. Noles, even when they receive the ball on a kick, get great field position at their own 42-yard line. You can use the whole playbook at this point as opposed to being on your own goal line. Wilson lost the football. Think he got it back.
Boy, they had the counter tray set up, Mike. If they could have got to the off tackle, hole left, early penetration by the Johnstown defensive line right there disrupted the play. If he gets through the line of scrimmage, as we see right here, he's going to get a lot of positive yardage.
Well, the Noles need to come out with some more fire like they did in the first quarter and put this game away and put Johnstown Monroe on their heels. They can't give them a break like that early. This game isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. George, quick toss, Wilson. Couple of good blocks by Brown and Gordon. Across midfield, Wilson to the 42-yard line. There's the big play.
Excellent cutback, excellent downfield blocking. They've had a lot of success with that late in the first half. Mike attacking the edge of the defense there instead of going up inside. Here it is right here. He really cuts back, picks up his blocking, cuts back against the grain. Those are things you can't teach really a running back. He's got to have great vision, number one, put his foot in the ground and cut back against the defensive pursuit.
Noles driving, opening possession, third quarter, fumble! But Brown got back on top of it, or Ishii. Ball's been on the turf twice now. Fortunately for Monroe Central, they've recovered both of them.
Absolutely. You know, you don't want to give Johnstown any, reason to breathe right here. And, the only acceptable turnover, you've heard me say it over and over again, especially in a situation like this where you're dominating the football game, is, hey, run your offense. If they come up big on defense, then turn it over on a punt.
How fortunate was Wheeling Central to recover a fumble on their touchdown drive last night that won them the game against Lindsley. Very fortunate. Gordon hit in the backfield, and Kana hitting first, and the Johnny's pursuit got there.
Companion play off the quick pitch. They fake the quick pitch out here to the offensive right and try to slip it on a hand-back trap to the fullback. Johnstown, I'm telling you, they're feeling a lot more confident, obviously, on defense than they are on offense. Let's just hope it's not a little bit, too little, too late.
Well, the first quarter buried them. It's going to be a tough uphill battle from there. This third quarter is vital for Monroe Central. Third down now, about 15 to go.
Setting up a
screen to Gordon, and it's there. Blockers for Gordon. Gordon has the first down and more. On 3rd and 21, there it is, a huge play, and the Noles move the chains again.
Just what the doctor ordered, Mike. You got to take away a little bit of the aggressiveness from any defensive front when they're putting pressure on the pocket. Very good secondary drop by Juris right here. Sells the pass, dumps the screen off. Excellent downfield blocking. For a big guy, he can surely accelerate and get downfield.
6'1", 190. And what a great play call. I mean, they knew the Johnnies were coming, firing on all cylinders. Once the offensive linemen let them go, they probably thought it was Christmas. Wilson threw a big hole, and he breaks the tackle. Oh!
There's the Seminole counter tray again. They run it back to the right side here this time. It's been open basically all night if they can stop the early penetration from the Johnstown defense.
Well, he went down awkwardly.
Got his foot trapped up here. Got a good kick out block right here. He cut up right off the block. Legs still driving. Yeah, he got wrapped up with one leg and kept the other leg moving. Very fortunate not to.
Better hit that leg with a sledgehammer. He's not coming out of the game, believe me. Gordon, the lone sidecar. Trips receivers. Give it to Gordon. Straight ahead. Runs right into a defender. Now a big hit by T.J. Stevens on Ancona.
Juris coming over again to talk with Coach Acosta here. The complimentary play off of that naturally is going to be to ride, the back up into the left side of the line and then pull it and keep it out to the right and see if we see that here in a little bit.
Ishii. Kenny Robinson coming out. Got both Millers at tight end in there. Joris turns and hands to Wilson. Simple lead play on 3rd and 1. They got the first down. Go to their money man to get them the first down. And
power play off tackle. Very difficult to stop when you have a line like Monroe Central does. You've got two heavy hitting running backs leading up, and with Wilson carrying the football behind two big blockers like the running backs that Monroe has, I mean, that's almost money to get a yard.
He only had 41 yards in the first half, but 3 touches on those short fields. 1,208 yards coming into tonight. All 3 Monroe Central touchdowns in this one. Browning in motion. Toss it. Wilson get a nice cutback. What a block by Brown and Gordon. And Wilson has another big gain. Did you see Brownie's block number 30?
Once again, offensive blocking on level 2 and level 3 by Monroe, whether it's the lead backs or the interior linemen getting downfield, really helping Christopher Wilson here. And he's very, very patient, has excellent vision. He's letting the blocks develop, letting the creases open, seeing some daylight, and then he's getting yardage. But really, those are all set up by the interior line and lead backs.
Here they go now, 2nd down and 7, ball on the 13-yard line. Knowles methodically working it down the field. The big 3rd and 21 screen was the big play. Joris on a quarterback draw got a couple yards. Terry, one of the most alarming stats when you look at the Monroe stat sheet, the Noles have rushed for 2,250 yards this season. That's pretty incredible. They've only given up 419 on the ground.
I tell you, I don't think you can ask for I don't think you can ask for very much more on either side of the ball. They're definitely complementing one another.
About 15 yards so far rushing tonight. They've given up. Almost double. I mean, that's nearly triple. Quick little hitch to Ishii. 1-on-1 if he can get to the corner. Nice crackback block and a face mask penalty.
That'll be a big one. That's a flagrant grab right
First
there.
and goal, Monroe Central.
Little swing screen to Ishii right here, and he's certainly athletic enough with great feet on the perimeter. They're going to block 2, and he's going to be responsible to eliminate 1 on his own, which he did. He got the edge, was going for more yardage. Here it is right here. Nice little dump to the right. Good downfield block, and eliminates 1 defender right there.
Oh, jeez. Twisted his head all around. Conrad tried to make the cutback block. A crackback block, I guess.
That's unfortunate for the Johnstown defense because they've been playing solid halfway through the second quarter and into the third quarter. They can ill afford to have yardage tacked on against them via the penalty. Very difficult to keep Monroe Central out of the end zone from this part of the football field.
He looked like he was going
So
to.
not automatic first down. Thought personal foul was. 3rd down 1.
They may not have called that a flagrant.
He said personal. He said.
Oh.
3rd down 1. Wilson, he'll get you the 1. Spins. Now it's 1st and goal, Knowles.
I think Coach Acosta is just going to line up, cut down the offensive line splits, have a couple backs in the backfield. Certainly going to give the ball to their money back, Wilson. You know, once again, we talked about it last night. You want 2 hands on the football, no turnovers, no penalty. Execute.
Look at this running formation. That's power, folks. They fake it. Joris, little fake and into the end zone. Touchdown, Monroe Central. It is Brown on the reception, and the Knowles are breaking it open. What a drive.
Juris can hurt you a lot of ways. A little play action pass there puts Johnstown in a very difficult situation. You know, you have to play tough up front. Your linebackers have to get out of the end zone and get close to the line of scrimmage right there. The defensive backs sometimes really want to help out and support the run right there and lose sight that a receiver can sneak in behind him is exactly what happened there. They're going to go for 2 here again.
Told you it was a running formation. Joris on the option right, pitch to Wilson, needs to get to the pylon and put his head down. Did not get there. Good defensive play that time by Derek Holter.
Good defense in the option right there. Joris was forced to pitch the ball. Wilson looked like he might be able to get on the corner and sneak in the end zone. Great reaction by the defensive outside personnel by Johnstown to keep him out of the end zone.
About the only time that the Johnnies have stopped the Knowles. Breaking the action, 28-0 on the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard. All Monroe Central. We're back after this. Hey, we're back in Woodsfield. Mike Anthony, Coach Terry Edwards. Seeing a little bit of a clinic put on here.
Coach Acosta sure has a lot of options on offense. You know, he can reach into that playbook and really he has a variety of plays, a variety of points of attacks, and he's really got a lot of confidence in his offensive team that, you know, most of those plays that he calls are going to work.
I think some of the players are getting a little frustrated about some of the cheap shots. And they're just telling them to keep their heads. You know, can't get thrown out of this game. There's probably going to be a next week for Monroe Central.
With the emotions running high, I think the officials really have done a decent job in keeping everybody under control. And that's sometimes tough to do when you've got young kids that really, really want to perform well and sometimes let their emotions get a little bit ahead of their intelligence level. And I think the officials have done a pretty decent job in keeping that aspect of the game under control.
Nate Schauber out on defense now for the Knowles, sitting on the bench. And it's Mick Riley, the ball carrier.
Once again, Johnstown's getting positive yardage from the offensive side here, you know, late in the first half and into the third quarter. You know, however, Mike, when you're down 28-0, you know, off tackle right, off tackle left is certainly not going to get points on the board in very quick fashion, and they certainly need points in a very bad way, but also in a very quick way.
The Johnnies out of the Mid-Buckeye Conference. And they're getting it put on them tonight, that's for sure. have killed themselves, and they got buried in a hole early, and you know how hard it is, tough to get out.
It's the worst thing that can happen really for an inexperienced team, a team that's already kind of nervous, and the playoffs are kind of novel to them, and you want to try to get out of that first quarter like we talked about, relatively unscathed, and they certainly
did not
put themselves behind the 8 ball, so to speak, early in the first quarter. Against some teams you might be able to overcome that, certainly not against teams of the caliber of Monroe Central.
Mick Riley, the ball carrier.
Not very much running room, Mike. I don't think Johnstown's desperate enough right now, although I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. Even though this is certainly not 4-down territory, they are definitely in a situation right now where time is of the essence. Points need to be scored. And in fact, they are going to go for it on the 29-yard line, 4th and 1.
Wow. Oh, they have to. This is the end of the season right here. Quarterback sneak. Oh, what a big surge.
I think forward momentum, forward progress is going to allot him the first down. I can't really blame Coach West. I mean, you know, you have to try to do something to keep things going in the right direction for your team, and you're not going to do that very often, certainly, but well worth the gamble, and it paid off for him this time.
Well, Travis Jones is the new tackle in for Nate Schauber. He was on the sidelines and looks like he has his shoulder pads unattached.
We'll keep an eye on that. You know, sometimes you want to get your players out of there.
Here's a big hole for Mick Riley, upended at the 42-yard line.
Sorry, Gordy, my table.
For Riley to, you know, put up the numbers that he did, Mike, during the regular season, you know, he's got to have some quality skills, and, you know, he seems to be a real workhorse, and their offensive line and their offensive execution seems to be a lot better now than it had been earlier in the game.
Now, Craig, the quarterback, is going to go out.
I think he's got an equipment problem. You know, going back to what we were talking about, it's sort of a double-edged sword here. The game, by no stretch of the imagination, is for sure, you know, over. You got to realize that Monroe Central definitely has the upper hand here. They've got to look forward to next week in terms of playing another opponent. They want to be at full strength, no unnecessary injuries.
Quarterback keeper, John Michael Spielman makes a nice play. Number 50 was there. He's played a great game defensively, Spielman.
Absolutely didn't buy the inside fake. He's supposed to keep contained. Fought off the block. The tight end tried to seal him down. Fought off the block right here. Kept outside leverage. Really shed 2 blocks. Came in and made the tackle for no gain. Really a 1-yard loss.
And Kana wanted a face mask. There was not a face mask. That hand was on the helmet, not on the face mask. 2nd down, 10 on the 43-yard line. Look at the Knowles. They're coming. Here comes Miller. Option right. Nice block out there on the corner. And then upended it near midfield. Ishii makes the play.
That's a well-executed play right there from Johnstown. Mike, the quarterback, you know, rode the first back in, made a decision on the perimeter, pitched the ball, good timely fashion. For that play to be successful, Mike, the lead blocker's got to get a block on the corner, which he did, and obviously they got positive yardage.
Again, after the play, Anaconda pushed one of the Knowles and threw his hands in the air, asked to try to instigate him. And I don't know if I like that or not. Here's the handoff to Mick Riley. Gets it into Monroe Central territory. Haven't said that much tonight.
It's going to be close. I think he's going to be about a yard short, Mike, and certainly if they went for it on the 29-yard line or whatever it was earlier, they're certainly going to go for it now on 4th down.
Fourth down and 1. Turn it hand to Riley. Why not? First down and more. Inside the 40. And he is tackled by Conrad at the 35. A minute to go, 3rd quarter.
Little trap off tackle here to the left side of the Johnstown offense. Looked like Monroe Central was going to blow up the play with a little bit of penetration. Riley got to the point of attack. Good kick out block. Needs to get the ball in the other hand so he can shed that tackler a little better.
Josh Grice, a nice block on Gordon, 44. Now Derek Holter split to the far side. Turn and hand it off. And that is Dustin Shepard, the sophomore.
Too many people up front there for Monroe. You know, they got a good trap on the down lineman, but the linebacker was right there to plug the hole just like he's taught.
Second down, 10.
You just wonder, Mike, if Johnstown came out in the first quarter and had this type of offensive success, what the score would be.
Hand off to Riley, pushing his blockers and tackled at the 31-yard line.
There's another ice play, Mike. They run it off tackle to the left. Not only are they going to have a lead back in front of him, but they pull a guard. So you got a back kicking out the end and a guard leading up through, and it's been real successful for them.
They have Sean 80 now in there at that right defensive tackle spot where Schauber usually is. And that's the end of the third quarter here in Woodsfield. It's been all Seminoles. They have added a touchdown and added to their lead in this Division 5 Region 19 regional quarterfinal on the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard. 28-0 Monroe Central as we head to the fourth quarter. We're back after this.
Yeah, he said, here we go.
Hey, we're back in Woodsfield. Mike Anthony, Coach Terry Edwards with us tonight. And, we are about ready for the fourth quarter of action.
Mike, it's gut check time really for Johnstown. I mean, when you look at the scoreboard, it's got to be a little bit, it's got to be a little bit frustrating to be down 28-0 going into the fourth quarter, but I'm sure that they've really exemplified a lot of pride during the regular year. This is what they're playing on in the fourth quarter.
That football head. Johnny's with it. Here's a pass by Craig, picked off by Conrad at the 25. His second pick of the game. Nothing, fourth overall.
Just a case of where the quarterback's really trying to help his team, really trying to force something maybe that's not there. And, Monroe Central comes up once again. Not only do they play well up front defensively, the linebackers at level 2 play very well, and the secondaries also come up big on every occasion they've been challenged tonight.
Fourth pick of the night for the Noles defense. And now Joris takes over on offense. Second back through is Wilson with big running room.
The belly again, second back through. Been successful for him really for good yardage all night long. Let's watch and see how many fresh jerseys, how many new numbers come in this last quarter. I know
Curtis Merrick is in there, number 76 for the Noles. And here comes Robbie Dimmerling, 5'11 junior, 175 pounds. And a lot of the Noles up front, and it has been chippy, let's say that. And I think Jay doesn't want any ejections in this one, and that's why Schauber has been out, and you've seen Stevens involved in some extracurricular stuff. Here's Gordo up the middle to the 39. Gabe Gordon, first down Seminoles.
Good hard run inside, keeping the drive alive, moving the sticks, running time off the clock. I really look for a lot of new jerseys to come in. It works both ways. These younger kids that maybe don't get to play as much as the veterans and the lettermen do, they practice hard every day and they deserve a chance to get in the battle of competition. And secondly, and maybe more importantly, you can't afford an injury at this juncture of the season.
10 minutes to play in the game. Toss it to Wilson, running near side. Good pursuit by the Johnnies. Nice tackle by Craig, the quarterback, who makes the play on Wilson. Some good closing speed, that time shown by Chris Craig, the quarterback.
Strung
and
it
also
out
free
very
safety.
well. Strung it out very well.
Here it is.
Here's the play right here. Good closing speed, like you said.
Fake it, and now hand to Wilson. Got back to the line of scrimmage, I think, but Knowles will take that, keep the clock running. Down under 10 minutes now.
That's another play that, the Seminoles offense execute very well. They show action one way with a dive back and give it on a cross action to the eye back in the backfield set, and they just have so many offensive weapons and so many offensive points of attack, and they execute most of them very well.
From Conrad to Ishii to the Millers at tight end to Wilson and Joris running and Gordon.
Just a very big contrast here between, Johnstown and Monroe Central. Jason Costa certainly has a lot of things that he can reach in and have confidence in calling, where Coach West has really been struggling with something all night long to get him to work consistently.
Well, if Monroe Central wins this game here in Seminole Country, and Steubenville Central wins their game, that's the showdown next week.
That's going to be a great matchup. It's not over yet, but certainly things are leaning towards that matchup. I've seen Steubenville Central play, and now I've got a chance and an opportunity to see the Monroe Central Seminoles play, and both teams, it's a very, very, very comparable to the talent and the individual aspects of their game, both offensively and defensively. It ought to be a great matchup if it does materialize.
Well, a timeout taken by Monroe Central. Gordon and Wilson still in there. Some fresh interior linemen who play some starters. Joris under center now. 3rd down, 8. Fake it. End around. Ishii with room if he can get to the outside. Look at the speed by Ishii. First down, no flags.
We talked about him earlier. Wow. What a offensive fire plug he is. I mean, you can do so many things with an individual that has the skills that Ishii has. Once again, fake inside, give it to Ishii on the end around or the reverse. And boy, did he accelerate and beat contain, and just enough for the first down.
And we were on that field, Lee, about 2 hours ago, and it was tough to walk, let alone run as fast as
Between
this.
the hashes, it's outstanding footing. From the hashes to the boundary, it's a little bit spongy. I think the turf being thick certainly helps it out.
First down, Knowles. Joris going to go for it all. Wide open is Conrad. Oh, and he dropped the ball at the 21.
How many times do you see that happen?
Oh, Adam, the senior.
Sometimes those offensive plays are only good for one a game, and you don't break open that often. And wow.
Here it is. Wow, what a great ball by Joris. Just flings it out there.
Sometimes that's the hardest ball to catch because you're unmolested there. You got all kind of running room.
But what a
you're
call.
Waiting for the ball to come. Right.
Terry, what a call. Run, 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 run. You get them sucked up there and then hit him with the quick one. That's a touchdown right there.
That's a great feeling to have as a coach, whereas you can, experiment with that or gamble on that play, and if it doesn't work, you come back with
to this.
Another play right here.
Wilson. Furr brings him down. Would you like to have this many weapons?
I'll tell you, there's no, there should be no doubt why they can put up the numbers they do on offense. They've just got so many different weapons. They can throw the ball. I would like to see Joris throw the ball a little more. Obviously, the last play that he did shows his poise, composure, arm strength, accuracy, everything you want in a quarterback. But you know what? They don't have to when they have the likes like Ishii and Wilson back there.
The deeper they get, they may have to throw the ball a little more. Here's a big play. Wilson, it could have been big. Mick Riley made a nice play.
Little swing screen left. He had a blocker out in front of him. If he would have got the block on the containment in there, he
would have been one-on-one.
I think he would have had a lot more running room.
Some fans complaining about a big stick downfield away from the tackle. Brownie was upended. We've seen a lot of chippiness tonight. I mean, the Johnnies have come in here and smacked the Knowles a little bit in the face, and they've taken some penalties, but so have the Knowles. And
for the most part, the kids have kept their composure. And that's important in a game like this.
All Jay cares about is 28-0. Here's a pass complete to Ishii, taken down hard at the 32-yard line.
That gives you an idea of the arm strength that Juris has. I'll tell you, that's not an easy pass to throw. He sets up well, big, tall, got good vision, good arm strength, very accurate. Look for the complementary play, which is faking that out cut right there and having Ishii turn it up down the sidelines.
Now what's the discussion? First down, Monroe Central.
Very deliberate drive, very time-consuming drive.
Here's the workhorse, Wilson. He'll be pushing the 100-yard mark and 3 touchdowns tonight. Ho-hum, another night's work for Wilson. Oh, and that's a flag. Joris got hit again.
He may
and
get
Ancona
ejected.
again. That's been happening all night.
He may get ejected. We saw that kind of antics in the first quarter. There's really no place for it. You know, it's one thing to be frustrated, but, you know, we saw this happen in the first quarter. There's no call for that. You don't have to be a very aggressive football player, very sound football player to do that. He just mugged him.
That's just a cheap
well
shot.
After the handoff, exactly.
And we try not to say that as announcers, but that was, and it's been happening all night.
It has. We saw it in the first quarter. It was a little bit more borderline, but you could see the intention.
That one was easy there. 28-0 with 7 minutes to go.
Let's see what the... let's just hope it doesn't get any uglier than that. I've seen games where it got out of hand. Coaches might lose a little control of their team. Individuals lose the self-discipline that they should have in a game like this, and it can get ugly, and we don't want to see that.
Another touchdown would be the counter punch. That's the way to get back at teams taking shots at you.
And I'm sure Coach Acosta is really telling his team, you have to keep your composure.
Ball on the 17. Joris under intense pressure. It'll be incomplete. And Kana got there again.
That's going to be another close play right there. Was his arm going forward? Was it a fumble? We'll see maybe here if we get the replay.
I think incomplete.
Now that's a good football play. Coming in, collapsing the pocket, hands up, hitting the quarterback while he's got the football.
Here's Joris. Good-looking kid, 6'1", about 250, 6'2", maybe 215.
Yeah, I think he was a little frustrated there because I think he had a receiver wide open, just getting ready to nail him with the ball and didn't have time to release it.
Not really sure if that was the same play as the one that Conrad dropped. They just busted off the ball on that play. The sure touchdown that Conrad dropped. Here's a flag.
I've seen enough of this the last 2 nights. Last me all season.
It's on Johnstown.
I would think that one of the Johnstown players had to say something verbally and had to say it loud enough for one of the officials to hear it. Jeez. The ball was not even snapped. There was no action whatsoever on the offensive or defensive
right away,
side.
Ran through the line of scrimmage as if to say someone said some magic words.
I think it's important for Coach West. You know, I've been in a situation like this before where you just take a timeout and you walk out and talk to your team and really reinforce all the positive things that they had done up to this point and caution them. Not lose your class, not lose your cool. Sometimes things don't go your way.
First and goal to 6. Christopher Wilson back in there. Joris fumbled the snap and got back on it.
Once again, post activity after the play.
Jeez. I don't think Johnstown's going to be happy unless they get someone ejected here tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a very critical time.
I mean, Shoemaker went flying into the backfield after the whistle.
You have to be so careful in a situation like this because your true character is going to be tested. When you are put against some adversity and things aren't going your way, how do you react after the adversity hits is a measure of true character.
Toss it to Wilson with room if he can get away from the tackler. Cannot, and he's drugged down at the 14-yard line.
And really, they're playing sound defense.
And that's
They've done a
Ancona.
lot of good things on defense here. They don't have to, they don't have to go get the unsportsmanlike calls or the late hits.
Well, they're giving the Noles a bunch of yardage on this drive. This would be the final nail in the coffin, another touchdown here. Although it will be the most incredible comeback in state history if they would win this game now.
I mean, I know Yogi says it's never over till it's over, but I like Monroe Central's chance.
I like it now. 5.5 to play. Joris across the middle, complete. That's Kenny Robinson inside the 5.
Little sit-down route by the tight end. I'm sure he came from the tight end position. They ran a fake dive off to the right to freeze the linebacker. Tight end went down and just curled up about 8-9 yards downfield. Joris finally picked him up, threw a nice strike to him. Good run after the catch.
We haven't said Kenny Robinson's name a lot tonight, Terry. Oh, he's a 6'4" junior with great hands. Timeout. Monroe Central on 4th down and goal coming up. Scoreboard says 3rd, but I'm sure it's 4th.
I think you're right. And right now is a great time for both coaches, especially Coach West from Johnstown, to talk to their teams and say, hey, this last 5 minutes, Coach Carter from Johnstown, these last 5 minutes here, you want to finish strong. You want to finish playing football the way it's supposed to be played. Do not, under any circumstances, lose your composure, lose your cool.
There's the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard, 28-0 with just under 5 minutes to play. See that? There it is again. 4:59 to play, and boy, Monroe Central really made their run through the playoffs last year before they ran into that buzzsaw. Peter Chanel, Father Jim Lacrosse's old school.
Go. Yeah.
Your man, Coach Lacrosse from Wheeling Central.
And St. Vincent's.
Mm-hmm. And, Tony Franklin was indeed an outstanding, gifted athlete, the tailback, and obviously he's having a great time at Virginia. Hopefully there's no more of those out there. Flags fly.
There we go.
Too many men in the
Illegal substitution, I think, yep. No matter what happens.
Hey, who was that on? I don't.
No matter what happens here, Mike, Coach Carter and his staff and his players, you got to sometimes just chalk things up to experience, and the players that he has coming back will be better players for having been in this type of arena. And
I think he's taking Wilson out.
And I'm sure really the veterans that are going to be graduating from Johnstown's team, are real appreciative to having had the opportunity to play in the postseason for the first time ever.
So 4th down and goal. Need to get 10 yards. Joris. Oh, and it's open. That is Miller. Touchdown, Noles on 4th down. The fat lady's warming up.
Yeah, they caught him in man-to-man coverage. They run the wide outs on quick in patterns. Flooded him underneath right there, and the linebacker really didn't pick him up.
Second touchdown pass of the game by Joris. He hit Brownie earlier. After 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, the balance is there. It's unbelievable.
They've got a bright future right here into the playoff run. Whomever they play next week, they've got just as good as opportunity, to do the things next week that they've done tonight. I think they probably want to have executed a little bit better, a little more consistent, which any coach would want.
Going for 2. 34-0. Wilson again in there for 2. That's the way you send them home. 36-0. I hate to say that. I think I told you, don't be surprised if it's 28 or 36-0.
Well, tonight you were right. Last night you were a little off. I think I wanted to predict
you were closer last night.
I look for the benches to empty at least on this side of the field here.
36-0 Monroe Central. Wilson, another ho-hum night. It's 24 points for Wilson. 3 touchdowns and 2 two-pointers.
He's played extremely well, Mike, on both sides of the ball.
There's
Very
my man,
impressed.
Christopher Wilson.
Very impressed with Wilson and Ishii, having seen him for the first time.
4:53 to play now in the game as Wilson just takes his seat. I don't know if we'll see him back in there.
Well,
There he is.
you know, some coaches substitute a little earlier than other. I was always in favor of once you felt pretty confident that the game was basically in hand, you know, get the top liners out of there for multiple reasons. Let the younger kids play, but you certainly don't want to suffer a fluke injury to one of your starters or one of your premier players when the game is, you know, a score like 35, 36 to nothing.
Joris kicking. No one hit him that time. Ooh.
One of the
Ball
few times
carriers
he didn't kick it
upended.
into the end zone there.
Yep. Getting tired. He's hammered 5 of them down there. So 4:47 to go. All that matters now is the shutout for this vaunted Monroe defense.
And they may well be thinking about that, you know, because they still have a lot of the first liners in there, Mike.
And they may be on track to hold the Johnnies under 100 yards.
That would not surprise me.
Don't have any official numbers yet. Here they go to Riley. And T.J. Stevens buries him into the ground. And
When you consider the number of plays that Johnstown has run for 0 yards or minus yards, you know, it would not surprise me to have a very low number of offensive yards, even total yards by the Johnstown offense.
the studs still in there. There's Stevens calling the defense. 4 minutes to play now in this one.
I think any coach would tell you, Mike, a lot of credit goes to the defenses when they, on first down, limit the number of yards that the offense gets.
Johnny's saying, well, we haven't done much offensively. Let's just keep giving it to Mick Riley. He's our 2,000-yard back.
There's not a whole lot they can do right now. Like I said, you know, going into the fourth quarter, the last 12 minutes left in the game, you know, they're playing on pride.
Here's Joris. Kenny Robinson. And what do you think Coach Carter thinks on that other sideline? My goodness, what an offensive explosion. And then that defense, you just can't move the ball against. Here's Craig, tipped, picked off!
Wow.
That is Miller with the football from the 40. A great block by Stevens behind the play. And the Noles are in business again. The 5th interception by this incredible Monroe Central defense.
Coach Carter maybe should have just stayed with his initial thought, running the football. However, I'm sure his kids would really like to get a moral victory and score. You know, I don't think it's going to happen.
They can't even sneak
What
a
an
pass in there
athletic
without
play
being
here. The
picked off.
ball was tipped, misdirected, right there into the hands. Sam Miller takes it in almost for another defensive score.
The Miller brothers have played well tonight.
Yeah.
But Conrad's played well, Ishii's played well, Brownie, Joris.
A lot of New jerseys
List
in there
goes
now,
on.
Mike. A lot of New jerseys. Looks
Oh,
like the
it's
younger
roster time.
underclassmen right here.
Dexter Hughes, the quarterback now.
This got to be a thrill for him.
And they hand it off to Stephen Habig. Now that's the freshman right there, 6'3", 200 at the very high on.
Wow. This has
6'3"
certainly got to
freshman.
be a thrill for the young guys here. You know, they don't get caught up in the game and anything. All they're going to remember is, hey, you know what? I got to play 3 or 4 plays in a tournament game.
And you probably couldn't see it or have heard it, but T.J. Stevens on the sidelines yelling to the stands, good job, fans, and the wild man Stevens got a big hit on
Every
behind
team's got one, don't they?
behind that run. He just laid somebody out on that run back. Fumbled snap. Oh, and Hogue goes down.
I'm sure these kids are nervous.
Freshman quarterback.
You see that
Did
a
you
lot.
ever think we would see the JV game break out in a playoff game in the fourth quarter in Ohio?
I don't know, Mike. What you told me on the way down here, you know, and I didn't get to see Monroe Central as often as you did, and you just raved about the, you know, the things that they do, and I'm here to confirm them because I've seen them up close and personal, and they're going to be
You can tell
very
Terry Tush how
difficult
good
to
they
beat.
are.
So he won't believe. Yeah, he might believe me.
You know, the guys we hang out with, how they always sort of doubt me a little bit on the
Yeah, they
Knowles.
might believe me more than they do you.
Now, Hughes back in there at quarterback. John Newhart, that's a sophomore running back. Now, this is the future because Wilson's gone, and it'll be Gabe Gordon's show next year with Ishii. Ishii, tailback, Gordon at fullback. Sound good?
Hey, every team needs a little nucleus to start out the following year, and I couldn't think of two better ones to start out with than those guys.
Well, these Knowles want to go one more game than last year. 10-0 this season. This will be the 11th win and possibly the 6th shutout of the year in 11 games.
Somebody's going to have to do a little bit of research on this, you know, and I'm sure there's been some great defensive teams in the past, but as you and I were talking on the way down, have you ever heard of such a defensive statistics that this, you know, Seminole team has put up this year?
It's the fire within, Terry.
Great timing.
Somebody called Doug Huff. We got to get some stats.
He would be the man to have him.
Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard shows all MCHS 36-0. The Knowles turning the Johnnies into Jennies tonight with 1:39 to go. Dexter Hughes at quarterback. Minute 33 to go. And on fourth down, that'll be a change of possession, and a lot of the first teamers coming back out.
Let's see here.
Well, John
I
Michael
really
Spielman
think-
waited, and TJ, yeah, they're coming out.
I think
they want that shutout,
they
baby.
do. I think they're salivating right now. They want another shutout. Can't blame them. Let's just hope nothing happens to any of the starters here. But obviously there's great pride on the defensive side of the ball, and maybe a goal going into every game is a shutout.
Well, let's see what went wrong for the Knowles tonight. They didn't get one of their two-point conversions, and Conrad dropped a sure touchdown. Nice run by
It's
Mick Riley.
unfortunate for Johnstown because they were really never in the ball game. You know, 14-0 before you could blink,
First two plays from scrimmage, it was 14-0.
and that's difficult for anybody, you know, to
And the
battle
punt
back
team was
from.
miserable for the Johnnies early.
They put
A couple of blocks
yeah.
and some fumbles and a shank. And that's how it was last year for these Knowles. Field position in the first half. You got to get out of the first quarter against Monroe Central. That's Shepard, the inside track to the 40, and there's Wilson, the tackler again, and he helps the man up.
You're good.
They're going to give Johnstown all those they want. They're just going to make sure that they make sure tackles here. You know, they're really not fighting Johnstown now. They're really not fighting anybody. It's not a clock situation. It's not a field position situation. It's just sort of letting the,
I think the
you know,
Johnnies are
letting the
done
game
fighting.
end. Yeah.
And we mean it literally. Here's Mick Riley, second down and 4. That's Ancona. The crowd likes when they hit him.
Every team has an emotional fire, fire plug or spark plug, whatever you want to call it. Stevens certainly is for Monroe Central, and then Connor seems to be Johnstown's emotional leader right there.
I need to warn you.
Timeout Johnnies with 40 seconds to go, 3rd and 3. The Knowles have to be thinking, and you have to imagine that they would at least try to hit a big one down the middle somewhere. That's what happened against the Knowles last week against Bellsville. Shutout was intact, and then they threw a post route that was caught, and Conrad fell down at free safety, and it went for a touchdown. Slip in the quagmire, and
I think
would've
it's
been a
important.
shutout.
I think it's important right now for both coaches to use this last, few seconds, 40 seconds to really talk to their teams. Coach Acosta obviously saying, hey, look at this. How's this feel to be in this situation here? Remember this feeling. On the other side of the ball, Coach Carter should go out and say, you know what? How do you feel right now? You're disappointed. All right, you don't have to be ashamed. but don't lose sight of this feeling here.
Look at the Knowles. They got Ishii and Conrad very deep, and Mick Riley going to keep it on the ground. Really close to the first down. Clock's still running. Each team has one timeout left. And it doesn't look like the Johnnies are in much of a hurry.
They
take it.
Did they take a timeout?
Or are they just going to move the change? They're going to call for a measurement. First down, Johnnies. Smart play by the official. No need to measure that one. Pump it.
Johnstown did take a timeout.
Oh, okay. Well, Monroe Central, pretty impressive. Another shutout to this point in the playoffs. A couple last year on their way to the Division V state semifinal.
A lot of people involved in their success, Mike. The fans support here, as you pointed out to me. I mean, they're just lined up in the end zone. You know, it's a packed house here. The cheerleaders, you know, everybody involved here, certainly in the community, should be very proud of the football team and their staff and the goals that they've accomplished so far. And like I said, the more important goals are right in front of them.
First down and 10. In the shotgun is Craig. Here's their chance to pass it. Craig deep down the left sideline. It'll be knocked down again. Already thrown 5 interceptions?
For 4 for sure. There's been 4 picks. Yeah, I think the 5th one was right here by Miller on the tip ball. I mean, it's crazy. Not only are they limited yardage per carry, but they're getting astronomical numbers of takeaways.
By the way, before we get any later in this, I have to say happy birthday to Jay's wife, Donna Suster Costa.
You bet.
Celebrating her birthday this weekend. It was yesterday. Happy birthday, Donna Sue. Second down now, long. Craig, and down he goes. Great play in the backfield that time by Sean 80.
You know, pretty appropriate ending there, Mike. They started out the game, you know, with negative yardage, and they run the last play of the game.
And that will wrap it up. Here's the play. Sean 80 trips him up, and another defensive play, and that'll take some yards off the net. We'll have to see what those numbers were. 36-0, the Seminoles roar at home on the Bill Forbes Chevrolet scoreboard. Some post-game comments coming up. And we're back in Woodsfield. On the field now, Mike Anthony, Terry Edwards, and Coach Jaser Costa, 36-0. And who would have thought that we would have the JVs and the freshmen in late in the game in the playoffs?
Well, big win, Mike. We kind of came out smoking right from the beginning. The defense, again, doing a super job, shutting them down, getting us a lot of breaks, a lot of turnovers. And then the offense put a couple quick ones in the end zone. And we got to slow down a little bit there, but we kind of regrouped and came back at them. But another fine defensive performance. When you shut out a team in the playoffs, you're doing something. And these guys had some people with some big stats. Big tailback, almost 2,000 yards, and a quarterback that did it.
You may have held them under 100 yards, and Terry Edwards very impressed.
Coach, congratulations, number one. You got a fine team here, and I think you got a bright future in the playoffs. I'm just very curious. You know, Mike had told me about how, you know, dominating your defense was. Yards per carry, yards per catch is one thing, but how do you explain creating 5-6 turnovers in a game of this magnitude, and then the offense complementing the defense by getting points off the turnovers?
Well, you know, Terry, we've been doing this all year long, and as you can see tonight in person, these guys aren't very big, but they fly to the ball, and they create a lot of things, and they create a lot of turnovers, and they just been doing that week in and week out.
Fantastic, Coach Costa. Go enjoy it. I'm going to talk to your quarterback
here.
Okay,
all right, guys. Thank you.
Michael Joris, a fantastic job out there. It got a little chippy. I mean, they're sending a lot of players after you. You guys kept your cool.
Yeah, it's just nice to get the first round win. You know, we get to look forward next week. Probably playing Steubenville Central. I don't know if they won, but we probably are. You gotta give it to our defense. They're unbelievable. You know, shut out some team in the first round of playoffs is doing something. Plus forcing all them turnovers. You know, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, they gave you a nice short field in that first quarter, and then you buried them early. That was the key, obviously.
Oh yeah, we came out smoking. It was kind of unbelievable. I was kind of surprised myself, but we kind of slowed down there a little bit. We got to work on that, but we're looking forward to next week. Hopefully we can pull it off.
Coach Edwards coached the son. It was a first-team All-State in West Virginia quarterback. Wore number 7, looked a lot like you. I know you were impressed with this big fella, weren't you, Terry?
Yeah, congratulations. I tell you, you played a great game. How does it feel having as many offensive weapons surrounding you? Not only the offensive line being able to move the line of scrimmage, but guys like Ishii and guys like Wilson to complement yourself, and you're a great football player in your own right.
Oh, I feel like I don't have all it on my shoulders. I got guys that can take it from the 10-yard line to 90 yards like that, and it's nice. It's good.
Hey, Knowles are on a roll. Congratulations, Michael George, quarterback of the Monroe Central Seminoles. Go celebrate with your buddies. It's a big night in Woodsfield, and Terry Edwards. I'm a believer. You're a believer. You're a Knowles fan now, right?
I'll tell you what, they've got all the makings of, going that one game further than they did last year. When you consider their special teams, their defense, their offense, being able to hold teams down, putting points on the board, creating turnovers, they got the full package right here. If they don't shoot themselves in the foot down the stretch, which I don't anticipate with the likes of Coach Acosta and his staff, they got a long way to go in this playoff run.
334 wins now for Jay Sircosta. 234 wins for Jay Sircosta. That's a lot of wins, and boy, they just keep rolling, looking pretty good. You can watch the opponent from Monroe Central tomorrow night on WTRF at 11:45. The Chesapeake Steubenville Central replay is right here on 7. Well, that's it from Woodsfield. Terry Edwards and Mike Anthony saying so long, where you just witnessed the Knowles dominate the Johnstown Monroe Johnnies 36-0. You've been watching this exclusive presentation of WTRF 7 Sports. So long, everybody, from Woodsfield.